Hello everyone. Well, that's you all started back to school and I hope it's going well for you. Today I was going to show you something which I received for Mother's Day, and it's just a wonderful little box. It's a box that looks like this, and it has all sorts of things that I shall be able to use for the garden. I got packets of seeds so I can grow tomatoes, I can grow mint if I'm going to be cooking, coriander, something that gives a really nice group of flowers that will attract butterflies, and cornflower, and lots of different small ones for a border, and then little packets should I want to gather seeds and put them in. Then I got a bar of soap so that when I have finished all my gardening I can wash my hands. And a very important thing, which is what I've really asked for, is special string so that I can string up some of the plants and attach them to the fence so that they don't blow down. And then I've got a little seed planter. So what you do is you put this into the soil, and then down at the bottom where that touches, that's where you put the seed, and then obviously it grows up through the hole in the soil. And very importantly, lollipop sticks so that I can write in and remember what it is that I planted. I've also got lovely little pots here that I'll be able to pop my seeds into and watch them grow. Now let's see if I can get one up here. They're quite tight. So I've got these. And then finally, when I've finished doing my gardening, I can come inside and I can sit down and have a cup of tea. So all these things that are necessary in order to create an amazing garden. And I like going out to the garden and I shall enjoy using all of them. But it got me thinking, because there's a lot of planning goes into the garden and time. And well, you've got to look at the weather and hope that it's quite good weather and you're not going to be soaked when you're out there. And the one thing I've discovered as well is that there are lots and lots and lots of books about gardening. And I don't really know terribly much about it. And I think I've said to you before that the person who used to give me advice was my mum, but sadly she's not here anymore. So I'm going to have to find someone else that maybe I can phone and say, what do I do with this and what should I do with that? But it got me thinking that, really, although we have all of these things and they make it possible to go out to the garden and tend it and look after it, there is one book which helps us to get through life, because really God has thought of everything. And it is, of course, the Bible, because in there we have stories about looking after gardens, we have stories about looking after ourselves, we have stories about looking after others. And they're all in one book. We don't need lots of bits and bobs to put together to make it possible. If we need to know what God would want us to do in a situation, there is always something we can read. And although I've got the adults Bible here, if you're one of our young people who watches, and I know there are some who do, then there are children's Bibles. And if you don't have one, well, my goodness, the manse we've got loads in here. And you'd be very welcome to come and borrow one. So if you were feeling a bit down or a bit bothered or a bit troubled, you can always look up the Bible and read a story about Jesus and maybe feel quite calm and quite comforted from it, because Jesus was always very sure that the way to get through life was to go follow his footsteps, but his Father's footsteps, to follow God and to do what God would want us to do. So I'm going to spend time out in the garden, and when I'm out there, let you into a secret. I usually quite often pray when I'm out there, and I think about people I know are maybe struggling a little bit with life. And when I'm outside and I'm surrounded by nature and I can hear the birds singing and I can hear people going past, and I look at the trees and I look at the wildlife, and I always thank God for giving us all of that. So I'm looking forward to going into my garden and using some of these, and I'm hoping that Wednesday will be the day, so you never know, I'll be able to tell you ready for Thursday how it has gone. So take care, and remember, the Bible is always there, and it's just one book. It's not a box, not bits and bobs, just one book. and everything is in it that we need to get through life.